Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
Andrew McCutchen, certainly one of the highlights last night for the Pirates in Game 1 of the series. 2 for 3 with a home run and 2 RBIs. Hunter Renfroe on the other side for the Padres. 20 home runs on the year. That is tied for third most among Major League rookies. Renfroe back in the starting lineup tonight for the Padres in Game 2 of the series between the Padres and the Pirates. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres baseball. Well, the Padres have now won 3 straight games, took Game 1 of this series against the Pirates, and in all 3, saves for Brad Hand, who has been tremendous at the end of games.
Nothing phases Brad Hand. We see it firsthand here on Fox Sports San Diego. We saw him setting up Brandon Maurer. We saw him get some saves when he was here, when Maurer needed a little bit of a rest. But the last 3 games, 3 out of 3, no earned runs, only 1 hit, 4 strikeouts. He's a guy with ice running through his veins. Nothing phases this guy. Comes in with the bases loaded, no problem. I'll get a grounder, and the double play to end it last night. 4 strikeouts in the last 3. He's been twirling tremendously.
Able to get the save again last night, may not be available tonight. We know who is available tonight. Dinelson Lamet, who's been very good at home last 2 times out.
Speaking of home, home is where the heart is. Home sweet home, the last 2 home starts. 1-0 record, a 1.38. Why? Getting ahead, the command of the fastball, and then finishing off with the slider. He's got plus stuff, I feel. He can command a glove side. He can be very successful. I think the Buccos will have some trouble because they can lock him up with both the fastball and the slider. Gets him guessing one way or the other, so hopefully another good home start for Dinelson Lamet.
Padres have a chance to win the series tonight, the middle game of the 3-game series. Dinelson Lamet will be on the mound tonight. Andy Green will tell us about his presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Jack in the Box. Come try the new sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger and chicken sandwich, limited time only. By Petco, where the pets go. And by Buick. It's Game 2 of the 3-game series between the Pirates and Padres. Before we get it started, let's send it down to Michelle Margot.
Thanks, Don. Dinelson Lamet coming off his 2nd longest start of his career so far. He pitched 6 2/3 innings his last time out, and we asked Andy Green what made him so successful. Check it out.
Honestly, he wasn't commanding anything. There was no chance he was going to pitch deep into the ball game. What he did very well last game was he was to his slider early instead of leaving it in his back pocket. And I think pitched himself out of a lot of potentially troubling situations because he's so reliant on that fastball sometimes early in the game. And I think he was convinced of how good his slider actually is, and occasionally that means you'll still give a hit up on it. You're not invincible with that pitch, but he mixed in the slider, mixed in the fastball, throws them both very well, and when he's doing that, he's got a chance to pitch deep into ball games.
Pitching coach Darren Balsley said it's obvious how good Dinelson Lamet's stuff is, but there's still a very big learning curve for him because he is so young. And he said as for today, he pretty much agreed with Andy Green. He said it is very important for him to command his fastball so he can get ahead in the counts and get to that slider. When we come back, Lamet goes for his 11th start of the season in Game 2 of this Pirates-Padres matchup. The Friars are going for 4 in a row. First pitch coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Good call. That one frozen.
He is a Swiss Army knife, if you will, out of that bullpen.
Back-to-back Ks for Brad Hand. You can talk to the Hand. Well, certainly has been fun the last couple of days and seeing Brad Hand come out of that pen, and 3 in a row for the Padres. Let's check out the weather report brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. 71 degrees to get it started. Breeze out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour, and the forecast mostly cloudy for the remainder of the night, and right now it is cloud covered here at Petco Park in San Diego. Don Orsillo, Mark Grant, and Michelle Margot with you for the middle game of this 3-game series as the Pirates are here. And let's check out their starting lineup brought to you by Hyundai. That hurdle has Starling Marte leading it off and in left field with Josh Harrison at second base. Andrew McCutchen, who homered in last night's game, batting third and in center field with Josh Bell at first base. David Freese is at third base with Adam Frazier getting the start in right field. He's been hot. Francisco Cervelli does the catching, batting seventh with Jordy Mercer shortstop eighth, and Yvonne Nova doing the pitching and batting out of the 9th spot for Pittsburgh. On the mound, Dinelson Lamet for the Padres.
25-year-old making his 11th start, commanded the fastball early and wipe out with the slider. And remember what Andy Green said. He can't keep that slider in his back pocket in the first inning and save it for the second or third. If he breaks it out early, that's fine. He's got a wipeout slider, especially with 2 strikes.
Well, Starling Marte stands in at very tardy on the first pitch at 95 miles an hour. Blown by him for strike one. Starling Marte at 247, 2 homers, 11 runs batted in. We talked about the home success the last 2 outings for Lamet, as this one is carved foul off to the right out of play.
And he's had a chance to scout these Buccos last night in the Padres 3-2 victory. And you know, there's one other thing I want to mention about, playing against the Pirates. This is a team that's somewhat still kind of fighting for a place in the postseason, right? It's not they're not folding tent, and so that's a good sign for the Padres playing the way they did against the Pirates last night and the way they pitched to that lineup.
Pirates more so in the division race than they are perhaps in the wild card situation. 7.5 back in the wild card, but 4.5 back in the NL Central. Now that said, you've got the Cubs on top of the division right now. The Brewers, of course, battling them a half game back, and that is strike 3, and a good start for Dinelson Lamet. 1 down. Let's check out the Padres defensively, brought to you by Lincoln. Left to right in the outfield, it is Jabari Blash, Manuel Margot, and Hunter Renfroe. Third to first, Corey Spangenberg, Dusty Coleman, Carlos Iswahe, and Perella getting the start at first base. His second start at first base this year for Jose as he takes over for Will Myers, and it is Hector Sanchez behind the plate. First pitch ball inside to Josh Harrison, moving up the order and batting second for the Pirates tonight.
I think there's going to be a lot of communication between Jose Perella at first base and the bench positioning. He's been out there taking grounders, working on footwork. It's not like he just showed up to the park, folks, and there's a first baseman's glove in his locker and okay, go get him first pitch. No, plenty of hard work as Will Myers is spelled this evening.
Andy Green said he'll have tomorrow off as well, and the scheduled off day on Monday, so that gives Will Myers kind of 3 days off just to kind of take some time off. Had a tough night last night at the plate. A couple double plays grounded into and a strikeout. So tonight off, tomorrow off, and Monday, of course, the team scheduled off day. So that's a pretty good break.
That's part of the managing duty, isn't it? I mean, players want to play, and the guys who are gamers, the off days are the scheduled off days. But yet there comes a time when managers have to take charge and say, hey, you know what? It's time for a blow. You got to clear your mind.
So that is the plan for Andy Green on Will Myers. Tomorrow we're going to have some activity. Solarte will be ready to be activated, as will Hedges. So some moves to be made here between tonight after the ball game and tomorrow as we play day baseball here in San Diego tomorrow in the finale of the 3-game series. 2-2, and that is up and in. Harrison, full count now. Harrison now, McCutchen next. Dinelson Lamet working here in the first inning tonight.
And during the Pirates 3-game skid, they've only scored 6 runs, and part of that skid is the Padres last night. Once again, great pitching, and we've seen some good defense. It's been fun to watch as well.
The Pirates have dropped 5 of their last 6 games. This one fouled off, and it remains full here, 3-2. Well, they're in the mix in the Central right now, 4.5 games back, but some good teams ahead of them, with the Cubs playing great baseball again, really since the All-Star break, and the Brewers half game back of the Cubs to begin the day. Here's ball 4 to Josh Harrison, down to first base. So 1 out, 1 on. We were talking about Jose Perella's second start at first base this year, and today taking ground balls, taking throws, and working hard at first base. Trying to pick it over there at first earlier this afternoon.
I've always loved it when the coaches get the fungo and start hitting towards first base, because you don't know what kind of hop you're going to get, right? Different in between hops, and working with Ramon Vasquez with his footwork over there.
And that's the thing, footwork's so important at first base, and that's one thing that Will Myers worked very hard on.
What do you always say? Work from the ground up.
That's right.
That's Donnie Baseball for you.
Donnie Baseball 101. 1 out, 1 on here for Andrew McCutchen. He had a 2-run home run last night's game, his 19th home run of the year. 1 home run shy from his 7th straight 20-homer season. Lee Stargell did it 15 times. Ralph Kiner 7. Start of the year for Dinelson Lamet, coming in individually at 500, 4-4 with a 5.92 earned run average. Toward the first, and diving back to the bag is Harrison. I feel pretty deep on McCutchen. Obviously power to all fields. And a swing and a miss. Good pitch. That one kind of running away.
That's the slider we're talking about. And to a hitter like McCutchen, watch the front side fly open. I mean, it's such a tight break. It looks like a fastball, and then late break out of the zone.
Throw pretty hard too. 88.
Yeah.
There's 1 strikeout already. His career high, season high, is 12 strikeouts. Did that against the Milwaukee Brewers back on June the 17th. A 1-2 pitch, and that's just away. Fastball at 97.
You know, I think another factor tonight is with Lamet and Sanchez, the battery. I don't think there's going to be a lot of shaking off. I think the youngster is going to go with Sanchez, get in a rhythm. Let's see what he does here. Fastball away.
McCutchen chases it and fouls it off to the right and out of play on the second deck.
So the last 2 pitches have been fastball. Remember the nasty slider he threw? He threw slider, then fastball, fastball foul. Does he set him up for the slider here? Oh, 2-seamer in. Oh, he shook him off to a slider. Okay.
McCutchen again protecting the plate and fouling it off to the right out of play. And last night with that home run, McCutchen getting his 700th career RBI. RBIs for McCutchen in the last 9 games. It looks like they're going over to first base here to check on Josh Harrison. His lead has been getting larger, and he is back to the bag.
Not really the base running threat, this Pittsburgh Pirate team, going into this game 9th in the National League in the stolen base category. Doesn't mean they won't go. Pick your spots.
A tough trip for Clint Hurdle. This has been a California trip so far. 1-6 in the Golden State so far in 2017. Throw to first, and back is Harrison. As I mentioned earlier, they've lost 5 of the last 6 games. During this 3-game losing streak currently. They've had just 6 runs in those 3 games, and they are 7-16 against the National League West. That is a ball, and another full count back-to-back hitters here.
You know, that last pitch, he wanted it in to bury it into McCutchen, and he missed way down and away. Now that's an adjustment he has to make. A little chatter from Sanchez behind home plate. Let's see if they send the runner here.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming up for Andrew McCutchen with 1 out and 1 on. Runner goes, and a little number in front of the plate. It's going to be the pitcher Lamet, and his throw is just in time. Nice play. Well, miscommunication there. It looked like Sanchez was going to go after that ball, but Lamet just kept coming after it. And Lamet picks it up and fires a seed to first base to retire McCutchen.
Boy, the momentum of Lamet was going actually towards the rubber where he started. He had to gather himself, bare hand, and fires a seed.
Almost got his hand stepped on there by Sanchez.
Yeah, nice job by Perella at first base. I mean, you know, you got a runner coming at you. You got a guy throwing about 90+ miles an hour at you. Great concentration from Jose as well.
So 2 down in the inning. Harrison at second base, and that'll bring up Josh Bell. Strike 1. Bell pretty deeply situated in the box on the left side. Slightly open stance, good distance from the plate. Got good power. 18 home runs on the year for the Pirates first baseman. Down 0-2. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light. And Josh Bell, MLB rookie leaders with 55 RBIs, only behind a couple of tremendous leaders in Aaron Judge and Cody Bellinger. Only going after Rookie of the Years in their respective leagues, but perhaps MVP conversation too.
I really like this kid. Obviously haven't seen him quite a bit because the Buccos in the NL Central, but I like everything about him. Switch hitter, big kid, power to all fields. He's only 24. You know, there are scouting reports, right, Don, and you can read all the numbers and stuff. But just when you look at a player, right, they have it, I think. And I think Josh Bell fits that description. He just looks like he's a ball player, and he's an athlete.
Sends this one foul down the left field line.
And he likes the high pitch.
Yes, he does. Can't lay off.
2 times this at bat sequence. Fastball's up, trying to get on top of it.
He struggled lately at the plate. 1 for his last 13. One-two pitch, and that's going to miss. 2-2. Next pitch will be the 25th of this first inning for Lamet. Leads National League rookies in hits with 88, does Josh Bell. Total bases with 169. Lead off second base for Josh Harrison. 2 down here in the Pirates first inning. Sanchez going back and forth with Lamet.
Yeah, this might be twofold. One is signs, and secondly, it might be, hey, what do you want to throw him here? 2-2. What do you feel most comfortable with? I've always felt an account like this, even 2-2, the old breaking ball when the wrinkle works well.
Wow. Bell gets a piece of it, and that was down and in. Yes. Headed towards his knees, and he gets a piece of it.
Good rotation, tight rotation, late break, down and in. See, this is where I think a good changeup comes into play. Looks like a fastball. Take something off after throwing a slider down and in.
Bell reaches out, protects the plate, and fouls it down the left field line out of play. Long top of the first inning here for Lamet, trying to get out this inning unscathed. A long at bat here, 8th pitch of the at bat coming up.
Well, there's one thing for sure. Bell likes to swing at pitches out of the zone. That's a given. He's swinging at 4 pitches this at bat out of the zone.
Swing and a miss on a pitch down and in, and he strikes him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Lamet. Able to get Josh Bell with a runner in scoring position. Pirates don't score. The Padres are coming up. Padres lineup looks like this, and it's brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Leading it off and in center field, Manuel Margot with Carlos Eswaje at second base. Jose Perella at first base with Hector Sanchez doing the catching. Of course, Spangenberg will be at third base with Hunter Renfroe back and right after having last night off. Jabari Blash in left. Dusty Coleman at shortstop bats 8th, and Nelson Lamet doing the pitching and batting out of the 9th spot. Yvonne Nova on the mound tonight for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Starting his 21st game of the year, the 30-year-old has got a fastball, curveball, changeup. He'll make you chase that curveball, and this guy is a strike thrower. 131.2 innings pitched, only 16 walks for Yvonne Nova.
Well, Manuel Margot leading it off for the Padres again tonight. 275, 7 homers, 22 runs batted in. 0 for 4 in last night's game with 2 strikeouts. Margot on the homestand has been tremendous, hitting 10 for 20, 500, and double, a triple, and 2 home runs with 5 RBIs. So last night, 0 for 4 in the game. They're going to bounce back tonight. Francisco Cervelli calling a curveball here. 1-2 pitch. And it is softly lifted into right center, and that'll fall for a base hit. Over the outstretched glove of Josh Harrison, the second baseman, going back, and base hit for Margot. Let's check out the Pirates defensively tonight behind Yvonne Nova. Left to right in the outfield, Starling Marte, Andrew McCutchen, and Adam Frazier. Third to first, David Freese, Jordy Mercer, Josh Harrison, and Josh Bell. With Francisco Cervelli doing the catching for Yvonne Nova. Shortstop Jordy Mercer, very good fielding percentage wise.
If he can get to it, he's going to field it. He's got a good arm at short.
There's Carlos Iswaje. Runner goes, and Margot, kind of a delayed steal, will be safe at second base. A hop, another hop, and then he takes off late trying to catch Cervelli napping and steals second base. That's the call on the field that he's safe. We'll see if the Pirates are going to challenge this.
One of my favorite plays in baseball, the delayed steal, the hop, ball gets towards the hitting area, bang, you go. The objective there is to try to keep the middle infielders. You catch them napping a little bit, as you mentioned, Don, and then you swipe that base.
Well, Swahe takes it down and in. I'm used to seeing it with guys that don't have a lot of speed. Kind of surprising to see with a guy who does have a lot of speed.
You know why I like it with the guys with speed? Because if they see a guy shuffle, they're just thinking he's taking a secondary lead. And then you catch him by surprise and he's off and running.
Well, Swahe now the runner at second, nobody out. And a liner to left center field. Marte on the move, and he'll get there to make the catch. Tagging at second, heading for third is Margot. He will get there with now one down. Good base running. He saw Marte was going to be going against the grain, and his momentum was taking him to the outfield. So he heads to third base and now just 90 feet away.
As time goes on, we see this more and more with the base running of the Padres. Going away from the field, tag, and he gets into third base very easily. 90 feet away with only one out.
Margot at third, one down. Jose Perella coming up. Four home runs for Perella, getting his second start at first base. To right field, Frazier going back, and it's going to be over his head. Misplayed out there in right. Margot will score. Meanwhile, Perella flying around the bases. He's headed for third. He'll get there sliding. RBI triple for Perella, and the Padres jump on top 1-0.
This ball is smoked to right field. Frazier, it looks like he's got a bead on it. He reaches at the last second. No chance. Jose Perella is off and running. And Manuel Margot can just coast home and turn on the afterburners for Perella. We got action here in the first, folks.
That ball really fooled Frazier. Up over his head out there in right field. Triple and an RBI and a 1-0 Padres lead. Now a check swing by Hector Sanchez ends up going around for strike one. 257 homers and 17 runs driven in for Hector, and 41st game that he's gotten into on the year. They are shifting on him on the right side, and he'll line this up over the shift into the right field corner. From third base comes Perella. Sanchez headed for second base, got himself an RBI double, and the Padres lead it 2-0.
Padres have come out hitting. Down and in. Sanchez just drops the head. Some balls hit hard this inning. A little toe tap. Great extension. Head is on the ball. Boy, I tell you what. It's got the good sound. This ball is hit in the right spot to where Sanchez can just cruise into second base. Alan Zinter loves it, the hitting coach for the Padres.
2-0 advantage out of the gate here, getting to Yvonne Nova in the first inning. And it brings up Corey Spangenberg. 271 average for Spangenberg. A swing and a miss for strike one. A 96-mile-an-hour fastball. 8 home runs, 31 RBIs to go along with the 271 average for Spangenberg. That's 13 games, hitting at .354. Jumps back out of the way of another fastball. This one riding in for Nova. 2 quick runs here for the Padres in the bottom of the first inning. So it's been going for the Pirates lately, and some good base running in the inning also by the Padres. Line to right field, a base hit for Spangenberg. Sanchez will stop at third on the single by Spangenberg, and it's first and third now with 1 out in the inning. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, the first one is early lead for Padres. What do you know? 2 runs so far here in the first inning. And secondly, contain McCutchen. 10 RBIs in his last 10 games. And when you look at the top of the first at bat for Andrew McCutchen, the old 1-3 play, hitless so far.
So first and third, 2 runs already in, and Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe with 20 home runs on the year. Sanchez at third, Spangenberg at first. And that'll be a little bit low for ball 1. .44 RBIs do along with those 20 home runs for Hunter Renfroe. For Nova, his record against the Padres 1-0 with a 0.73 earned run average. However, those 2 career starts came when he was with the Yankees and not with the Pirates. Actually beat Tyson Ross going back to August 3rd of 2013 here at Petco Park. Runners at the corners with 1 down in the inning.
Well, for a pitcher that does not walk many hitters, he's wild in the zone. Single, triple, double, single off of Yvonne Nova here in the first inning.
Renfroe will take a strike, and it's now 3-1. Art Blash waiting on deck. So far 4 hits in the inning, 2 runs have scored, and runners are at the corners. There is Blash. On the ground down the third baseline, but foul.
Well, if the name Yvonne Nova rings a bell, Padre fans, and you were in Peoria to see some games back in 2008. Yeah, he was a Rule 5 guy, drafted by the Padres from the Yankees, spent about 3 or 4 weeks in Peoria, and then sent back to the Yankees that spring.
Last outing gave up a season high 7 runs in a 13-3 loss to the Rockies. Spangenberg goes, pitch fouled off to the right, out of play.
I think he had that one stolen.
He had a very good jump. We're trying to avoid consecutive losses for the first time since mid-April. A tough time on the road. 1-3 in his last 5 starts on the road. Off pitch, runner goes again, and that's strike 3. Throw down, and Spangenberg is caught stealing at second base. So it's a strike him out, throw him out, double play that ends the inning. But the Padres come up with a pair of runs in the bottom of the first inning. 2-0 San Diego.
Padres lead 2-0 in top of the second. Well, both Yangervis Solarte and Austin Hedges were back today taking some batting practice. Solarte played 9 innings for AAA El Paso last night, and Austin Hedges caught 5 innings in the AZL. Both will be activated tomorrow, and Hedges will be catching Richard for Andy Green. Guys?
All right, thanks very much. As we get ready to head into the second inning, good to see Yangervis back and in the lineup tomorrow when they activate him. And El Paso last night, playing some shortstop last night for the El Paso Chihuahuas. Be interesting to see if that's where he is tomorrow as he returns to the Padres lineup.
That's the beauty of going down for a rehab assignment. Stick him in a different position and just, hey, have a look-see. Nothing wrong with that.
A lot of guys don't like rehab assignments. It's kind of an unfair situation, though. You're just trying to get some work, but going down there and facing guys who are trying to make a name for themselves, get you out. You don't know the pitchers you're about to face down there. And a lot of guys don't enjoy doing it, but Yangervis didn't have a problem with it.
Just get back to game speed. You can take all the BP you want. You can take grounders, but you know, the best medicine is to be in live action, whether it's a AA, AAA. And I've even heard stories of guys going down for rehab assignments, hitting, and just taking pitches. Just so that, I mean, they'll, you know, maybe take a hack or two, but just to get that feeling of the breaking ball, the fastball, and live game action. You know what one of my favorite situations is in spring training when one of the big league guys needs at bats and he goes to the minor league fields
and leads off every inning.
He leads off.
I saw that. I was
love that.
What is going on? I remember going to one of the backfields and you got like one of the veterans, and exactly right. Lead off every inning. I'm like, how does this work? So I tried to keep score of that game. And it's like, wait a minute.
I had 12 ABs today.
Yeah.
I had 6 on field 1 and I had 6 on field 2.
David Freese will send one in the air down the right field line. It is making its way foul, and it'll be just out of the reach of Renfroe, and he runs into the wall down there. Maybe knee first. He's trying to walk it off here after going into that wall pretty hard, it appeared. No, it was the cleat up against the padding that stuck there. Awkwardly going towards the wall, not the knee. Still grimacing out there in right field.
You know, when this park was first built, you know that fence that's on top of the concrete wall? That was not there.
Strike 3 call. Freeze down by way of the K. Third strikeout for Lamet.
Freeze fastball. We talked about breaking out the slider early for Lamet, but if you have that in the back of your mind, guess what? 4-seamer, glove side, location, perfect, frozen pizza. Padres had a guy by the name of Brian Buchanan, who's about 6'6", weighed about 280, and he went tumbling over that wall on a foul ball. That was a big boy hitting it right. This fence right here, that was not there. It was just up to that wall right there.
So now a fence is there.
Yes.
When did that happen, do you think?
I couldn't really tell you.
On the ground to first base, it is Perella fielding his position well, and he tags the bag. 2 down. Adam Frazier retired, and that's now 4 in a row sent down by Lamet. We'll bring up Francisco Cervelli coming up. Vasquez working early this afternoon with Jose Perella down there at first base.
Big buck. Brian Buchanan was a Friar 02 to 04. So it was in 04 when the first year this park opened.
And Cervelli caught last night for the Pirates, back in there again tonight. And batting for the first time tonight, as he'll take strike 1. Trying to grab consecutive victories since winning his first 2 major league starts. He got hit here to begin the year. Oh, 1 pitch in there for strike 2. Jumps ahead 0-2. Pretty impressive. These strikeout numbers coming in. 68 strikeouts in 51 2/3 innings. 11.9 strikeouts per 9 innings, leading rookie pitchers. Has 3 Ks already tonight, and just missed off the outside edge.
And Hector Sanchez likes it, even though it was a ball. That's exactly where he wanted to throw that pitch. Make him fish for something up and out of the zone.
40th pitch of his outing coming up here. And it's in the dirt, so really not chasing. Cervelli strikes out. That's 4 strikeouts for Lamet, and a 1-2-3 second inning. Padres have a 2-0 lead after an inning and a half. 4 down by way of the K for the Pirates.
To do my best and embrace the moment.
Yeah, this is huge. It's the biggest event for us in California, actually in the United States, for the entire year. And if you really want to get a big push the second half, this is the time to do it.
Tuesday on Inside San Diego Sports, we dive into San Diego surf culture, that is.
What was that?
And take you behind the scenes of the Super Girl Surf Pro in Oceanside. Tune in Tuesday after Padres Live. Have you ever been surfing there?
No, never been surfing.
Is there a board out there big enough?
That's the problem. I mean, the boogie board you can just kind of flop on.
Yeah.
And then the water just takes you if you have the right waves. Jabari Blash leading it off here with a Padres on top 2-0.
Nova breaking out the old number 2 to Jabari.
Swing and a miss. He was fooled on that pitch from Nova, and he strikes out. Now, Nova had struck out Renfroe to end the first. He opens the second by striking out Blash.
Well, keep an eye on that curveball from Nova. 2 in a row to Blash for the strikeout.
Now, Dusty Coleman getting the start. 4th game that he has been in. Has his first major league hit out of the way and first major league home run as well. Part of this homestand for the Padres. Did that against the Mets. Mets were here for 4. Pirates here for 3. And then the Minnesota Twins will be in for the end of the homestand. At third base, David Freese throws out Coleman, 2 down. 2 down to Nelson Lamet coming up. That 0 for 16 at the plate, still looking for that first elusive major league hit.
Well, we've seen a lot of firsts recently, so hopefully it comes right here.
Taking a hack at that first pitch, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Two down here in the second. Base is empty. And a pitch in there for a strike. 0-2. Wild swing and a miss, and a pitch headed down and away, and Lamet strikes out. That's 3 Ks down for Nova. Has a 1-2-3 second.
Who?
2-0 Padres.
Who has the 1-2-3 second? Nova. Leads the Twins against Will Myers and the Padres in a game you can only see on FS1. It all starts Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. on FS1, or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go.
We head to the third inning as the Padres have a 2-0 advantage over the Pirates, and back on the mound to Nelson Lamet to deal with Jordy Mercer, Yvonne Nova, and Starling Marte. Had a good second inning, 1-2-3 with 2 Ks and a ground out. He's struck out 4 through the first 2 innings. Strike 1 over the inside corner.
Boy, the first pitch slider for a strike does wonders for a pitcher in any particular at bat. It just puts it in the hitter's mind. Gosh, you know, he can throw for a strike. And then you move it off the plate a little bit. They swing and miss. It's just a great pitch. And 95 there, getting some good downward plane movement to quickly get ahead 0-2.
Back to it again here on the 0-2, and it is fouled off down the right field line, out of play. 7 on the fastball that time. Mercer drives this out towards right center field. Over goes Renfroe to make the catch. A little hop there at the end. Pulls it in, Bill of the cap high for the first out of the third inning. So 1 away, and it'll bring up Yvonne Nova, the pitcher.
I see you've stolen my pointer. Hey, can I ask you a serious question?
Yes.
I don't mind.
Uh-huh.
And I want you to be honest with me. It's fun to play with, isn't it?
It is fun because you can point stuff out. But you told me not to break it, and I think I already have, unfortunately.
No, it's...
The top looks a little bent.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Just through time, that's going to happen.
I notice you have some other stuff on the other side of your booth. Your side of the booth.
Yes.
We've added some new things. We have a koala bear.
Yeah.
For some reason over there.
Joan Brulette from Section 310 sent me a koala.
More stuff.
His name is Beep Boop.
Okay.
And I spoke with the Padres today. I love the Padres and what they do. So they gave me a mud mug. So I can have my mud in a Padres mug.
Nice.
So I thank them.
Back to the screen.
It's a great group. They do a lot for youth baseball and softball in San Diego. So I'm going to enjoy my mud in my mug. Can you point it out to everybody?
Sure, that's a mug and that's your boiler. 1-2 is fouled off to the right out of play. We get to wear polos on Saturdays now, which is great. Kind of form fitting for some. 1-2 pitch coming up. And that'll miss up and away.
Big pitch coming up here. You do not want to go 3-2. Be aggressive here. Outfield shallow and going the other way. Renfroe, Margot playing him to hit the ball in the air the other way.
And 6 in a row retired by Lamet. He's thrown a lot of pitches though. 52 pitches through 2 1/3 innings. And another lengthy at bat here for a Pirate. 8th pitch coming. This at bat for Yvonne over the pitcher hanging in there, and he's just 1 for 39 at the plate this year, and defensively grounds that back to Lamet, who throws to first base for out number 2.
MLB.TV every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live, plus get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
2 down in the 3rd inning, and Starling Marte coming up here for the Pirates. Well, players with a .290 average, 50+ home runs, and 150 stolen bases. Marte and Altuve in that category, and that is pretty good company right there, and that's since 2013. Altuve is amazing to me.
You know what? He was brought up today when I spoke at the luncheon. Somebody asked me, who's a guy that you would really love to see on a regular basis because Houston's in the American League. Jose Altuve. He's something else.
Chop foul over beyond the Pirates dugout. We saw him in Mexico City as the Padres played the Astros in exhibition games at the end of spring training last year. And his size is amazing to me.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great thing about baseball is you can be any size to play this game.
Yep.
Marte, a strikeout victim in the first. He went looking. Foul off to the right out of play.
I tell you, they're late on the heater, aren't they?
Yep.
From Lamet.
From 95 to 97. Good movement. Win here tonight. Padres would get their first 14-win month since August of 2015. Swing and a miss, and Marte goes chasing and strikes out. That's 5 strikeouts for Dinelson Lamet. He's retired the last 8 in a row. Padres have a 2-0 lead. Off in the Bronx for New York. Brett Gardner with an RBI single and a big game there between the Rays and the Yankees, and a walk-off win for New York. Gardner has been on fire. He's had a few of those recently. A lot of celebrations going on for the Yankees, who began the day with a half-game lead atop the American League East, and now a one-game lead with that victory. The Red Sox playing the Kansas City Royals in tonight's game. Fouled off.
You know, we talked about the NL Central regarding these Pirates and what's going on in that division. Kind of like the same for Tampa Bay. 4.5 out, kind of in that. You know, they dealt for Duda, who paid dividends today, hitting the home run at the stadium.
And Will Margot leading it off, singled, stole a base, and scored a run in the first inning. And last 4 games, hitting at .500. That'll work. 8 for 16. Takes a hack at the 1-1. A lot of spin on it, but Nova quickly off the mound, able to field and toss underhanded for the first out of the 3rd inning. 5 in a row retired by Nova. The crowd on hand here tonight on this Saturday night in San Diego.
Yeah, Donnie, there's a buzz in the air. Park at the Park, pretty full. People having a good time.
Pitch down and in here to Carlos Suárez. .312 on the year for Suárez. Lined out to left field first time up. On the ground this time to Josh Harrison at second base. And there are 2 outs here in the 3rd inning.
You know what, Don? It looks like those 2 runs for San Diego in the first are going to be huge, because Nova seems like one of those pitchers that if he finds his groove, he's a guy who can cruise along. Hopefully the Padres can get to him for maybe 1 or 2 more runs to try to add on.
After kind of a shaky start in which he gave up 4 hits to the first 5 batters that he faced in the game, certainly settled down. That strike him out, throw him out, double play worked out, and a strikeout by Renfroe caught stealing with Spangenberg, and that ended the inning. And since then, he's now retired 6 in a row. There's 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. Jose Pirela has been hot the last 6 games, hitting at .357. Nova in double figures in wins individually, coming in at 10-7 with a 3.67 earned run average. Did he go? No. We'll check with Dana DeMuth, first base umpire. 21st start of the year for Nova, and trailing in the game 2-0 to the Padres. Line towards right center field, and that ball is going to get down. A gapper to the track of the wall. Pirela headed for second and beyond. He's thinking 3. Headed in that direction. He'll get there sliding in with a triple. His 2nd triple of the night for Jose Pirela.
Pirela going the opposite way again. Good bat speed. And once that ball is by McCutchen, you bet he's thinking 3. That's a route he's used to taking. No GPS needed here. He's got that route down by heart.
So 2 triples on the night for Pirela, now 90 feet away. Pirates going in here to a shift on the right side. There are 2 outs in the inning, and Hector Sanchez. Sanchez doubled to drive in a run his first time up. Hector had one of the 2 RBIs back in the first inning. Look at that shift on the right side here on Sanchez. Line and caught. Shift perfectly executed that time by the Pirates. 2-0 Padres. The trade focuses on
the slider of Dinelson Lamet. 5 strikeouts tonight, 3 via the slider, staying on top of it, putting the hitters on the defensive. Why? Throwing it early for a strike and then putting them away. When the slider is put in play, opponent's only hitting .217, but he'll take the swing and miss, especially that last one. My goodness, that last one to Marte wasn't even close. Seems like he was swinging that ball, came out of his hand, and it works to the advantage for Dinelson Lamet.
A stretch right now where he has retired 8 in a row, has 5 strikeouts through the first 3 innings, and leading it off is Josh Harrison. Mark Sweeney joining us as move here to the 4th inning, and the Padres with a 2-0 advantage.
I wanted to ask you, Mark, about the get me over slider compared to the 2-strike slider. We've seen the 2-strike slider tonight, and I think that's been excellent for Lamet, but is there a difference?
Just release point. I think when a hitter, I'm sorry, take that back. When a pitcher wants to, it's just a, like I say, you just flip it up there. It's not as intense. And it's just a release point issue. And that's a feel. That's something you work on in the bullpen. Remember Doug Drabeck? Remember I brought up his name the other day? First pitch of the game, a slider. Hit me slide like that one there. That's a nice one there. I think it's a feel like any pitch, to answer your question.
Well, why I asked that is because hitters rely on picking up something that's different from the arm action of a pitcher.
Fly ball right field. Renfroe with room for the first out of the 4th inning. Eduardo Nunez, the former San Francisco Giant, with his new team, taking Trevor Cahill deep not once but twice. As Cahill goes 4 innings, giving him 8 hits and 5 earned runs to the Red Sox. And Nunez certainly some experience with facing Cahill in the past.
Don, I ask you, has he become a cult hero in one night?
Probably has with that, yeah. At the best time of the year. Trade deadline move made by the Red Sox to shore up third base. Of course, Pablo Sandoval did not work there. Seems like Eduardo Nunez, another Giants third baseman, he is working there.
Also give that team some more team speed too. He's dynamic when he's healthy. He can change a game with his speed.
Popped up foul off to the right, out of play. Certainly not the way Cahill wanted to start his debut with the new team, Kansas City Royals. No, Mauer has pitched. Has Buchter yet pitched?
Yes.
He has.
Yes. Pitched an inning, I believe, a couple nights ago. Scoreless. Hitless.
Andrew McCutchen batting with 1 out here in the 4th inning. Consistency of McCutchen has been amazing to me over the years. He is 1 home run shy of 20. Which would be the 7th straight 20+ home run tally for him over the years.
Well, he's a special player. We talked last night about how he made an adjustment on the off-speed pitch, and that's good to see. But what really comes down to me is watching McCutchen. That right center power that he has really doesn't fit the description of his body size. Has a lot of bat speed, and that's back. As you can see, the numbers indicate that.
Shifting on the left side on him. Center fielder Margot, step or 2 towards left center, so also shifting in the outfield to some degree. And a grounder into that shift. Coleman, the shortstop. And 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
Hey, you know, not every good slider has to be swung on and missed, right? This is a darn good slider from Lamet, inducing the grounder to McCutchen. Off the end of the bat, rolls it over. Dusty Coleman, get ready. It's coming to you. Little 6-3 play.
10 in a row now retired by Lamet. 2 down here in the 4th inning, and brings up Josh Bell. The Pirates all of a sudden struggling at the wrong time here. What has been a bad stretch.
Yeah, and it is a bad stretch. And we've seen in years past, I think the Padres have played the Pirates the most consistent when you think about probably facing an Andrew McCutchen, but also times like this, Don, when you're saying that they need the wins, the Padres have played much better baseball, in my opinion, against these Pittsburgh Pirates. It always comes down to a team that you feel more comfortable with, because this is very talented, as you can see.
70th pitch of the night for Lamet. And it is just outside. He has been ahead of most. First pitch strikes to 11 of 13 so far in this game.
He's got his groove on. All right, that makes pitching so much fun when you just see the fingers down, you throw to the glove.
See Garrett Cole, which we'll see tomorrow.
Falling behind here, 3-1. He has walked only one hitter through 3 2/3 innings. On the ground, foul. Not ahead of that was Bell. Off pitch and a swing and a miss, elevated, and Bell chases it. 6 strikeouts for Dinelson Lamet. He's retired 11 in a row. Bell down by way of the K for the second time tonight. This is hit number 2,999. Rangers trailing the Orioles 4-0. They're in the 5th inning in Arlington, but one hit away from joining the 3,000 hit club for Adrian Beltre. Now it's on to the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-0. Padres have the lead, and Corey Spangenberg to lead it off here for San Diego. Spangenberg, Renfroe, and Blash to face Yvonne Nova, who has calmed down here after a tough first inning. A bunt bid that sends Cervelli down. And foul tip off the bat of Corey Spangenberg on the bunt.
You know what the first piece of equipment my dad bought me in Little League?
What's that?
A cup. He came home from the sporting goods store. I was sitting at the dinner table. My mom just registered me at Mary Crest Little League. I was sitting down having dinner. True story. He walks in the back door from work, places a paper bag in front of me and says, "Son, I don't care where you play on the field, you are wearing that." And I opened it up, and it was a cup.
Well, Sabella appears to be okay here. And good to go.
And I don't understand why there are some players. You'd be amazed at guys who don't wear one.
A lot of middle infielders
It's
do
unbelievable.
not wear them because they believe in their manos, their hands. I did not.
Spangenberg down 0-1. Single in the first inning for Spangenberg. Caught trying to steal. Padres with 5 hits in the game, and Spangenberg chasing that 94-mile-an-hour fastball up, and it's 1-2.
You know, talking about Adrian Beltre on the verge of 3,000 hits, I always like to put it in perspective. 3,000 hits. That means if you play 15 years in the big leagues, you have to have at least 200 hits a year.
And that's thought of as being having a spectacular season.
Through the right side into right field, a base hit for Spangenberg, and Corey's 2 for 2 in the ball game. We'll talk a lot about Adrian Beltre, who I believe is a Hall of Famer. 20th season of Major League Baseball, 4-time All-Star, 5-time Gold Glove Award winner, 454 home runs, 500 is within range.
I think he's a Hall of Famer as well. And you think about Adrian Beltre, he's looking to be the 31st person to ever hit 3,000 hits in the big leagues. That says a lot.
No question about it. 20th season, that means at least 150 hits a season to reach 3,000.
And there's a lot that goes into that equation. Being healthy, being consistent, but all of those hits and a lot of clutch hits for Adrian Beltre.
On a run pro batting here with 1 on, nobody out. Last of the 4th inning.
It's such a great career because you think about him, he was known as a better defender before he was a hitter. I think he made himself into one of those dangerous hitters because of all the doubles he hit. Then the power came. I agree with you, Don. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
Lined a fair ball down the left field line to the corner. Spangenberg making his way around the bases. Hoffman's going to send him. Spangenberg going to try and score. Throw to the plate is not going to be in time, and the Padres take a 3-0 lead. Hunter Renfroe with an RBI double, and it's 3-0 San Diego.
You know, when Nova finds his groove, he's got the 2-seamer working here. Here's a 2-seamer. And where does Hunter Renfroe like the majority of his pitches? The home runs that he has hit, balls down and in, all speed down and in, but he gets this 2-seamer and keeps it fair, and Corey Spangenberg gets the green light. You know what? A lot of the Padres are getting their pants dirty tonight, and that's a good sign. Heck, Pirela needs a new pair of britches. 2 triples. He ripped his pants up. That's a good sign.
Breaking ball, Fool's blast there. Takes it for ball 1. Murray struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. 3 strikeouts on the night for Nova. Got into a pretty good groove there. He had retired 6 in a row, but tripled by Pirela last inning. Got out of that inning, but now back-to-back hits. They had a run very quickly for the Padres here in the 4th inning. Throw at second base with nobody out, and Blash waiting on a 1-1 pitch. And a run inside. Padres on top now 3-0. Still batting with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Tap foul, 2-2.
You know, Jabari's got to have that curveball in the back of his mind. His first at bat to lead off the 2nd inning, Nova got him with back-to-back curveballs.
That's the thing with the show me pitch you were talking about earlier. Yeah. Having that in the back of your head's got to be a big deal. Just knowing that he's got it, even if he doesn't show it all that often.
And then if you get the fastball right, Mark Sweeney, you got to be quick. I mean, how these guys hit, I'll never know. It's amazing to me how you did it, Mark Sweeney, for so long. There it is.
Well, to me, in this scenario, and I've heard a lot of hitters talk about this scenario, especially when that breaking ball comes into your mind, you can't get off of the fastball. You can't sit breaking ball and hit a fastball. Very difficult to do. Not many guys could do it. I'd say Paul Molitor would be a guy, maybe Moises Alou, guys that don't have a lot of movement. But this is a scenario that you just have to shift the field with that fastball. So if he throws that breaking ball, you can still keep it fair to the left side.
Swing and a miss, and Blast strikes out on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. 4 strikeouts for Yvonne Nova. We're talking about Adrian Beltre, and so was Buck Showalter, the manager of the Baltimore Orioles. We don't see many players so universally respected. He smiles easily, he cares what his teammates think, and he's always got time for everybody. Haven't managed him, but is there anyone in the game that is more universally respected than from the opposition than Adrian Beltre? And that's a great deal of respect there for Buck Showalter, and I'd say he's one of those guys you need to see play on an everyday basis to really gain respect from him. I only had the chance to watch him play one entire season, but he's pretty special.
You know what? That quote there, to me, that's more valuable than any award you could put on your mantle.
Agreed. The respect from your peers, obviously the managers that you go against night in and night out. And you're right, Don, he is that type of player that you have to watch every single night to appreciate. But he has a lot of balance to the game. He has fun, but also he is very intense.
Coleman fouls it off, and ball dropped.
Now, has that ball got to be caught?
It's not your fault.
Was that right in the breadbasket? Okay, let's be the judge of the. Oh, he's barehand. Oh, he had it.
Oh, and the bevy goes too.
Oh, expensive decision.
Lost the baseball and the bevy.
It's not your fault.
Swing and a miss.
He did get screened.
Dusty Coleman waiting on a 1-2 pitch. Grounded down first time up. And this time he'll strike out. Gets away from the catcher. Cervelli briefly, so he's got to throw him out, and he does. Back-to-back Ks for Nova, 2 down in the inning. Padres been taking advantage of Yvonne Nova's fastball.
Well, you know he doesn't give you free passes, so coming into this game, the aggressive nature of the Padres really showed early in this game. You can see him hunting that fastball, even when it's in that strike zone. And they've done a really good job of taking Nova out of the game.
Nelson Lamet batting for the second time, struck out his first time up, and now he'll take strike 1 over the outside corner. Still looking for that first major league hit. 0 for 17 at the plate this year.
He needs that first knock. Come on.
Kind of late on the swing. 0-2.
Kind of.
Swing and a miss, and Lamet strikes out. Well, the Padres add a run as they grab one with Spangenberg scoring to put San Diego on top 3-0. This, of course, is the Hall of Fame weekend this weekend for the 3 inductees. Next year could be 4. Your thoughts on this list, Mark Sweeney?
Well, I like that list. More importantly, I want number 51 to go in there. Only 5 votes away this year, so you would assume he'd be in there.
Chipper Jones, 6-4 to 3 in the inning
is definitely going to be in there. The switch hitter that had, and Jim Thome. I mean, who doesn't love that? And Vladimir Guerrero possessed that cannon of an arm, but he'd hit from batter's box to batter's box on a line. Incredible hitter.
You know, I look at Jim Thome, and a lot of people, if you were asked them, they say, oh, he was a DH. Well, chew on this. He DH'd in 818 games. He played first base and third base a combined 1,599 games. I'm a firm believer of the bat, and you got to wear a glove to be a Hall of Famer. Jim Thome is a Hall of Famer in my book.
So you're saying David Ortiz is not going to be a Hall of Famer?
I think he will, because I think there is an exception, and I'm not going to just flat out say. Did I just flat out say that?
I think you pretty much
did. I really?
Yeah.
It just brings in all of this. You've been around Edgar Martinez. I believe he's a Hall of Famer.
He was some kind of hitter, man.
Unbelievable. He was one of the best right-handed hitters I've ever seen.
This is lined into right field, and a base hit for David Freese. Starts the 5th inning and breaks up a streak of 11 in a row, retired by Lamet.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I think a lot of people think your way. I just think it's coming into that. And when you think of David Ortiz, and you've been around him, that is the difference maker. But I think there's better DHs that have been before him that are getting slighted because of it.
Right. Do you think, like the first guy who's going to be strictly DH, like an Ortiz or somebody that gets in, do you think that's going to break the dam as far as having other guys than Edgar? And then
I'm trying to think who else there would be besides those two, though, from a DH standpoint that stands out to me. I can't think of it.
Yeah.
Because you have to have the total resume. Obviously, the career, but postseason,
huge,
big moments. There's a lot of intangibles that come into it.
And you know what? I'm trying to look at this both ways. It's not their fault that they just.
It is a position.
It is a position, right? So that's a plus towards them going that direction as far as being a Hall of Famer. I remember playing with Edgar. He was, and that's like just right after he started going mostly DH. And you talk about a guy calm at the plate.
Line to right, and that's in for a base hit for Frazier. Back-to-back singles here off Lamet to begin things in the 5th. Singles to right field. Freeze, now Frazier back-to-back.
Well, coming into this game, Frazier was hitting over 400 since the All-Star break, getting playing time with Polanco injured. Sweet swing on a high fastball.
You're kind of getting into it too a little bit with closers also.
True.
In that, you know, you talk about one inning in a lot of instances, and you think of Eckersley and Smoltz, some of those other guys, but they got in because of the work that they did as starting pitchers also in their overall body of work.
I totally agree with that. And you think of it from this perspective of David Ortiz. Is it Mariano Rivera that you have to wait to get in? Because I think they're no-brainers. I hopefully not, because Trevor to me is a no-brainer. Not because I was his teammate, faced him, got embarrassed by him. But I look at the body of work, and to your point, Don, that's what they were asked to do. The toughest outs to get are the last 3 outs of a game.
Well, Cervelli with a big cut there.
Mark, you always talk about players slowing the game down and getting back to Edgar. I tell you what, that guy had his swing almost like looked slow motion, but yet the ball would just jump off his bat. Big hits, consistent year in and year out, and he would just lay back there and let the ball and just next thing you know, double in the gaff, home run.
He would set you up.
Yeah.
I mean, he would take swings and you'd think you'd have him. You throw it again and he'd drill it in the gap.
Yeah.
Really a lot of fun to watch.
Another big cut by Cervelli down 0-2. What, did you play with him in Seattle?
I did in Seattle in '92. Yep. So there are exceptions. I mean, I'm not going to say, like I did say, you know, glove bat, which is huge. And it's amazing to me that guys can be perennially all-stars and put up numbers like that consistently for 16, 18, 20 years. But you're right. Those guys were game changers, man. Big Papi, you bet.
First and second, nobody out, and Cervelli will foul it off to the right out of play.
Think about those scenarios, and I think, Don, you could answer this pretty easily, is that bases loaded, 9th inning, game's on the line, who do you want to hit? And I would take both of those guys we just discussed, David Ortiz and Edgar Martinez. That's when you have to put in perspective. Those are the guys that you want up there. There's a lot of guys you don't want up there. Those guys really stick out in my mind.
David Ortiz to me is the best clutch hitter I've ever seen in my career. I mean, I just over and over again postseason. Down goes Cervelli on a pitch up and in. A tough night for Cervelli.
Yeah.
Wow, watch your face. He's at second, Frazier at first, nobody out here in the 5th inning. And Cervelli lines one to second. It'll turn into 2. Lined out to Iswahan. Quickly Coleman covers, and they double off Freeze at second base. Double play.
You know, Mark, we always talk about setting up pitches. That last pitch was the fastball up at the head. The next pitch, the slider, maybe a little tentative. And granted, 2 things. Lamet hits his spot. Therefore, the defense playing where they should be. This almost had triple play written all over it. Except for the runner at first base, darting back. Adam Frazier.
So 2 down and a high fly ball to left field. Flash in and under will make the catch that ends the inning. Pirates leave a runner on. Padres have a 3-0 lead. All brought to you by Jerome's Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. By Sequan Casino, sign up for the Padres Club Card today. And by Honda, great deals are waiting for you now at your local Honda dealer. We head to the last half of the 5th inning back at Petco Park in San Diego. Padres on top 3-0. And back on the mound here is Yvonne Nova, ready to work here to the top of the Padres order. And Manuel Margot will lead it off. Margot, Azwahe, and Perella. And he's 1 for 2 in the ball game. A single back in the 1st inning came around to score the first Padres run. Most multi-hit games by a rookie, Margot with 24, 5 more than anybody else. And a drive to deep left field for Margot, back deep and gone, home run. His 8th home run of the year puts the Padres on top 4-0. Right off the facing of the Western Metal Supply Company building for Margot.
85-mile-an-hour hanging changeup. Oh, he's all over that one. It looked like Nova slowed up his delivery too a little bit in his arm as well.
Now fly ball headed out towards left field off the bat of Azwahe. And Marte will put it away for out number 1. Well, the day after the Padres score 5 or more runs, get 50% off any regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. All you got to do is enter promo code Padres5.
Boys, Manny Margot's having fun in the game right now. The way he is performing, showing all facets of his game. We heard about his defense, but we really didn't hear that much about his offense coming into the season. Manny is putting on a show.
There's strike 1 to Jose Perella, who's put on a show tonight. 2 triples, ties the club record, 16th time it's been done. Last Padre to do it, Nick Hundley, in 2011 against the Mets.
I would have lost that bet if they said, hey, guess who hit the last one? Last 2? Catcher?
0-2, grabs the outside corner.
I would have said Mike Piazza would have had that.
Well, I thought about it, but pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-2. Well, the first triple for Perella drove in a run. Second one, he was left at third base in the 3rd inning. Padres have added another run here in the 5th and enjoy a 4-0 advantage. Fly ball, center field. Andrew McCutchen for out number 2. First time Perella's been retired in tonight's game.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
2 down in the 5th, base is empty, and Hector Sanchez coming up. Sanchez doubled in the 1st inning, lined out to 3rd in the 3rd. Ground ball into the shift on the right side. Harrison's got a long throw, but he'll get it there in time. Home run by Manuel Margot, 4-0 Padres. Getting 2 runs in the first inning. Jose Pirela with a triple, scoring Manny Margot. As Pirela would get his first of 2 triples. Hector Sanchez driving in a run with a double to right field that scored Pirela and put the Padres on top 2-0. Then add on Hunter Renfroe with a double down the left field line. Corey Spangenberg coming in with a 3rd run, and then Manuel Margot with a solo shot to begin things in the last of the 5th inning. 4-0 Padres, and Dinelson Lamet along the way has struck out 6 batters through the first 5 innings, ready for inning number 6. Got himself 4-0 lead. He's only given up 2 hits in the game. They came back to back in the 5th inning. Not allowed a hit through the first 4 innings before Freese and Frazier went back to back. Nova was scheduled to lead it off here in the inning, but a pinch hitter coming up, Jordan Luplow, made his major league debut here last night in the starting lineup, and now coming off the bench to pinch hit. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. So Nova done after 5 innings and only 67 pitches. Popped up right side. Pirela takes care of out number 1 of the top of the 6th inning. Top of the order coming up, and Starling Marte, who has struck out twice, once looking, once swinging against Lamet. Makes 3 very good starts at home in a row for Lamet. Becoming more comfortable pitching here at Petco Park, no doubt. No decision against Detroit, a 6-inning effort. And then against Atlanta, win 7 shutout innings in his last home start. Last 3 starts for him have been on the road, so very comfortable to be returning to the Petco Park mound tonight.
Only 2 singles given up tonight by Lamet.
Didn't give up a hit until the 5th inning. And 6 strikeouts, walked only 1, and that was in the 1st inning.
You know, as these pitchers mature, you know, Perdomo, we know his story. Lamet this year. As time goes on, and hopefully the Padres get more offensively minded, I guess is the word I'm trying to say, or score consistently more runs. I guess my point is, imagine these guys as they learn into next year and the year after, pitching with a lead. And we mentioned it a couple times where the pitchers have a 4 or 5 run lead. There's room for error. It's not like you're pressing each pitch. Oh my gosh, if I make a mistake, we're tied or we're losing the lead. I think that's the point where you want to get to as a club, right?
So one fouled off to the right. Yes, some stress innings, taxing innings. Being able to not have that, and we've seen Luis Perdomo kind of settle into those and get into those good grooves.
Yeah, I think there's a balance to it. Offensively, they understand that they're not putting up consistent runs for these guys to make it easier for them. But the good teams understand that you got to pick each other up.
7th strikeout for Lamet, out number 2 of the 6th inning. Off balance, Starling Marte.
We've talked about the slider tonight. Why not another look? And why not another strikeout? Perfectly placed, down and away. Boy, if he can harness that and throw that consistently, watch out.
2 down for Josh Harrison. Harrison has walked and flied out to right. One thing working against Lamet tonight has been the pitch count. It's up there. This will be pitch number 94. And a fly ball down the right field line. Hunter Renfroe headed over towards foul ground, and he won't have a play. Second time that he's been over there. Able to make a play for the second time in foul ground. And Harrison now down 0-2. Almost hit him, almost let it hit him. Breaking ball from Lamet. On the ground up the middle, Coleman coming in, throwing on the run, and in time, Barella kept the foot on the bag. A 1-2-3-6, the 4-0 Padres lead.
One of a kind. I think he likes the outdoors, maybe as much or not as much or more than baseball. But you know, we got a lot of good times together on and off the field. So you know, fun to be around. He's always smiling and stuff. So proud of him.
That was Pittsburgh Pirate Adam Frazier on college teammate Hunter Renfroe. The two played together all 3 years at Mississippi State. They hung out last night after the game for a little and plan to do so again tonight. A little friendly rivalry, you guys.
Well, good college programs producing a lot of good major league players, and certainly those two together in the past and here at the major league level, both doing very well at the major league level.
First guys I think of are Will Clark, Jeff Brantley, Mississippi State Bulldogs. Are there others?
Rafael Palmeiro.
Rafael Palmeiro, yes. Good program.
Wade LeBlanc coming in as this pitching change brought to you by El Cajon Ford. LeBlanc into his 39th game of the year. Took over for Nova, who threw just 67 pitches. Worked in 5 innings, gives up 4 runs, including the home run by Manuel Margot, and is on the hook as he leaves. Driver down the first baseline, that'll stay foul. I think of college teammates. Georgia Tech comes to mind. Jay Payton, former Padre outfielder, along with Omar Garcia-Parra and Jason Varitek, all on the same team.
That's a pretty good squad. Say strong up the middle.
Yes. LeBlanc, Padre 2008 through 2011.
Former Friar.
Yep. Chris Stewart on the bench for the Buccos, former Friar.
Nova went 5 innings, giving up 8 hits, 4 runs. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 6. LeBlanc takes over here in the 6th inning. He's got 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. Looking for more here. Spangenberg 2 for 2 in the game, and he will strike out. First out here of the 6th inning.
Well, Mark Sweeney lefty on lefty, and maybe up and in a little bit. He wanted it down away.
One down here in the 6th brings up Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe struck out swinging in the 1st, doubled to drive in a run in the 4th inning.
Renfroe has been abusing left-handed pitching of late.
Overall against lefties at 326. 7 home runs, 17 RBIs. So 20 home runs on the year now for Hunter Renfroe. He'll bounce in, 1-2. Renfroe down, Blash next as the Padres bat here in the 6th inning. Reaches out and pops it up into shallow right center field. McCutchen coming in and under to make the catch for out number 2. 5 in a row retired by Pirates pitching. 2 outs here in the 6th inning, and bring up Jabari Blash. Had a tough night. Did not enjoy his time against Yvonne. Struck out twice, once in the 2nd and then again in the 4th inning.
Yeah, a lot of off-speed pitches to Jabari Blash, but setting him up with the fastballs mostly in and off the plate.
Action just starting in the Padres pen. 96 pitches for Lamet through 6 innings. And ahead of most, 16 of 20 first pitch strikes tonight for Lamet. Line to left, and Marte almost in his tracks out there. Positioned perfectly, makes the catch, and ends the inning. 4-0 Padres. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Jose Altuve 0 for 4 in the Astros 5-3 loss to the Tigers. That snapped his 19-game hitting streak. Trevor Cahill made his debut for Kansas City, 4 innings, giving up 8 hits and 5 earned runs against the Red Sox. And Adrian Beltre with his 2,999th hit, one shy of joining the 3,000 hit club. The Rangers trail the Orioles 4-0 in the 7th inning in Arlington tonight. As we play along here to the 7th inning at Petco Park in San Diego. Nelson Lamet back on the mound again, ready to go here in the 7th. 96 pitches deep into his outing.
You know, Don, after we just saw those little nuggets regarding those players, it's the second time we mentioned Jose Altuve. And I know you were around a player a lot in Boston by the name of Dustin Pedroia.
Very similar.
Very similar. And when you look at players like that, like for instance, when you first saw Pedroia, what was your first initial reaction?
He was a little guy with a huge swing.
And that's Altuve, right?
And you're like, wow, this is not going to. It didn't start with it. He was hitting 150 into May. And there was a lot of talk about Terry Francona sitting him and not using him because he was playing every day. He's hitting $150 in May, playing every day. I remember because Alex Cora was on the team and they were going to play him in lieu of Pedroia, but then all of a sudden he got hot on Rookie of the Year. MVP soon after that. Pitch up and in, and McCutchen goes down, and that one got him.
Well, you know, throwing the fastball in is a big part of any pitcher's game, and it looks like Lamet trying to work that fastball in, work it away, the slider away. This is a two-seamer. Hector Sanchez set up inside, and that's the last thing that Dinelson wants to do up 4-0 is to put somebody on base via getting hit with a pitch. That's scary though, man. You know, and hitters are taught to turn into it, right? Show the name and number. McCutchen does just that.
There's a board to begin things here in the 7th, and here's Josh Bell. Bell struck out swinging in the 1st and then again in the 4th inning. Even hundo pitches for Lamet. That'll get through, and McCutchen will head to second base.
Yeah, this is a situation where, you know, Andy Green looks at, you know, you look at velocity, you look at location. The pitch count is getting up there. He hits McCutchen, and this changeup is spiked. I mean, not even close.
Action in the pen, double barreled. There's Buddy Bauman and Craig Stammen up in the pen. That came into this inning 96 pitches deep into his outing. Back out there to start the 7th. He's hit a batter. Now a wild pitch as McCutchen to second. 2-0 coming up here to Bell. And a grounder foul. Down and in, gets away from Sanchez, and McCutchen to third. So a couple of wild pitches here. And getting through Hector Sanchez.
This is the slider. Just out of the reach of Hector.
Second wild pitch of the inning after the hit batter has McCutchen at third base. That is the first Pirate to reach third base in this game.
This might be his last hitter, huh?
Not close, and ball 4 down to first goes Bell. A little surprised he's back out there again for the 7th inning to start it. He does, but not long. And a pitching change coming up here with the Padres on top 4-0. Craig Stammen will be coming in. Pirates are threatening here. Pitching change for the Padres, and Stammen into his second straight game, and he worked in last night's game very effectively.
One frame, 3 strikeouts. He really had all of his pitches, not only his pitches working, but location of his pitches. The two-seam fastball in particular, great movement in and out. All around a great outing in 1 inning for Craig Stammen.
Now comes in here to face David Freese with runners at first and third, nobody out. He's 1 for 2, singled his last time up. And that leaves responsible for McCutchen at third, Bell at first. With his 6th appearance for Stammen. It's a 2.16 earned run average in 5 total games against the NL Central this year.
You know, ideally, the punch out here would be the way to go. But up to 2 strikes, you know, work for the grounder. I think the Padres will gladly sacrifice rolling a double play for 2 and allowing the Buccos to score 1. And we take a look at the last 6 games from the arms in the bullpen. Nicely done, gentlemen.
Outside, it's Stammen falling behind here, 3-0. Has worked a lot. Think about him coming in after some long relief appearances early in the year. He's 54 2/3 innings pitched, leads all National League relievers, and 3rd among all MLB relievers. That's a lot of work for Stammen. It's 3-0 pitch. And that's a strike, 3-1.
You know, it's a lot of work, and as we sit here on July 29th, you look at velocity, you look at movement of all of his pitches for Craig Stammen. Doesn't seem to be affecting him one bit. He's still effective, and the numbers prove it. Making some big-time pitches.
Cutchin at third, Bell at first, and a foul off to the right, off the bat of David Freese. With 6+, 2 hits. Hit a batter, walked a batter to begin things here in the 7th inning. 2 wild pitches. He got McCutchen to third base. Line into right field, a base hit for Freese. From third comes McCutchen, and the Pirates get their first run of the ball game. Second hit of the night for Freese, and it's now 4-1 Padres.
I think that's a perfect example of not trying to do too much. Yeah, the 3-run shot would be really sexy, but David Freese realizes, okay, runners at the corners, right? I've got to try to drive at least 1 in. 3-0. Now the battle's on. There's the foul ball, 3-2. Mislocation up, short, quick stroke, the opposite way. Big hole on the right side. Driving in that run is David Freese.
And Frazier 1 for 2, single to right field in the 5th inning. Bell at second, Freese at first. A run in here for the Pirates. And a liner to left field, and that's in for a base hit. Bell will take third, and the bases are now loaded with nobody out for the Pirates here in the 7th.
Station to station baseball here for Pittsburgh in the 7th. Freese going the other way, Frazier going the other way. Now you got to get that bag of tricks out here with nobody out, as you mentioned, Don, and the bases full of Buccos.
Dusty Coleman ran in, said something to Craig Stammen. Now back to his spot at shortstop. Bases loaded for the Pirates, nobody out, a run already in, and Francisco Cervelli now 0 for 2 has struck out swinging and lined into a double play. takes strike one. 0 for 3 in his career against Stammen. A couple of strikeouts for Cervelli. Thought about it, but he lays off, and it evens at 1-1. Run charge to Lamet so far. Lamet still responsible for Josh Bell, who's at third base now.
Yeah, relievers take pride in leaving inherited runners out there. That's the thing that really irks relievers, is when you let in the previous pitcher's runs.
Gap out of left center field for Cervelli. Move Margot into right center field. Outside, and it's 3-1. No place to put Francisco Cervelli.
Tried to go two-seamer to bring it back. Off the plate.
Action in the pen. Baumann has now been joined by Maton. Stammen in the game for the Padres. Into the pen here in the 7th inning. Stammen trying to minimize the damage. A run in. Bases filled with Pirates. 4-1 Padres lead. Cervelli takes strike two. Fouled off. Cervelli gets a piece of it. And Valencia Venezuela, 31-year-old catcher. Bell at third, Freeze at second, Frazier at first. A run in, nobody out here. In the Pirates' 7th inning. Cervelli grounds one up the middle towards second as Wahe to second for one, on to first for two. Run will score. The Padres will take that exchange and get 2 outs here in the 7th inning on the 4-6-3 DP.
Here's what I like about this. I love the ground ball, but the footwork and the exchange at second base, very, very close. Aswahe up in the grill of Dusty Coleman. Two-handed right by the belt buckle. Great footwork by Dusty. Get it, tag the bag, get rid of it. Great exchange at second base.
Freeze at third with 2 down, and Jordy Mercer now the batter. Ball one. Good sprawling play by Sanchez to his right. Strike call, 1-1 to Mercer. Mercer's always hit well here at Petco Park, 366 career average. He's at third with 2 down. that'll be just a tad high. 2-1. Stammen first out of the pen. Donaldson Lamet giving up 2 runs in 6+ innings. 2 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 2 wild pitches. Both came in this inning. 2-1 rolled over foul, and it's 2-2 now.
I thought we saw a lot of nice things tonight from Donaldson Lamet. We talked about it in our game open, the last 2 home starts here at Petco Park. And with each outing, he's learning something new, probably, that'll work to his advantage in his next start.
Ball 3, full count. Pitches for Stammen since coming out of the pen. Jose Ozuna has come out on deck for the Pirates in the pitcher's spot. There's Ozuna. Payoff pitch coming up here to Jordy Mercer. And it's ball 4. He walks him. First walk allowed by Stammen. Mercer not chasing. 1st and 3rd now. Time runs on base. And Ozuna coming up.
He's in, right? Yeah, he's in.
And Andy Green's going to make a double switch here. So home plate umpire Carlos Torres will make the change as Matt Caesar is coming into this game. Looks like he is headed into left field. Stammen coming in facing 4 hitters. So Blash coming out of the game, and see which reliever will be coming in here for the Padres. Bauman and Maton been warming in the pen. Neither has gotten the word yet. Pitching change from Petco Park in San Diego. It's now 4-2 Padres. Maton coming in.
In the 7th inning, Phil Maton coming in to pitch, and I was talking with Andy Green earlier about Maton, and he said something interesting. He said Maton closed in the minors, so 90% of the time he was not inheriting runners. He thinks Maton will gain more comfort pitching in those situations up here in the majors the more he does it. He said it's about getting reps, and he also said sometimes when a player's fastball is that good, like Maton's, they tend to get over-reliant on it, so it's encouraging that Maton has been able to use his slider more. Mark, what do you think about Maton's comfort level up here at this time?
I think he has fit in quite nicely, Michelle. Thank you so much for that report. You know, when I look at a pitcher, especially a young pitcher, it's how they handle themselves on the mound. He doesn't have overpowering stuff, but he's got good spin rate, which we talk about. He works up in the zone nicely. It's tough to get on top of that fastball. And he's another guy who just kind of tries to slow the game down. Doesn't get all wrapped up in the situation, slows it down. He's confident in his ability. I like him.
Jose Osuna batting with runners at first and third, and there is strike one.
And there's that 92-mile-an-hour fastball that looks like it's got a little bit more giddy up that I was talking about.
70th game that Osuna has gotten into, and he's pinch hitting here. First appearance of the series. Freeze at third, Mercer at first. 0-2.
And there's that slider Michelle was just talking about. Any pitcher would love to be in this situation. 0-2. Quickly ahead. I mean, look at how calm and cool he looks out there. I mean, he's confident in his ability and what he needs to do. He's got a game plan, and he's going to try to execute that game plan. Fastball up right here.
Up and away, and it's 1-2. Well, that started this inning. Hit McCutchen, walked Bell. Those two runners end up scoring. Stammen allowing two inherited runners to score, although he did get Cervelli to ground into a 4-6-3 double play for the 2 outs. And now Maton coming in, trying to finish off this top of the 7th inning. And he will, as he strikes out Osuna, the pinch hitter, to end the inning. Well, the Pirates get 2 back. A strikeout for Maton ends the top of the 7th. Padres have a 4-2 lead. Pirates as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Our 7th inning stretch brought to you by Hyundai. The crowd on hand here tonight, 37,286 for game 2 of this 3-game series. For the finale tomorrow. Day baseball here from Petco Park. Dusty Coleman's going to lead it off. Tony Watson, the new pitcher, left-hander to the game now for the Pirates.
Well, there are teams that are possibly interested in Tony Watson, the left-hander. His name has been thrown out there as we approach the trade deadline. A left-hander that could help somebody out of the bullpen, his 47th game. But the splits, hopefully the Padres can add on, at least get 2 of those back. 308 against lefties, 311 against righties. All his home runs has been giving up 2 right-handed hitters.
So Dusty Coleman leads it off here, 0 for 2 in the ball game. And he'll take ball 1. He has grounded out to third base and struck out swinging. Tony Watson takes over for Wade LeBlanc, who went an inning. Hits no runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out a batter. Well, the hook in this game right now is Yvonne Nova, the starter who got the first 5, giving up 4 runs through 67 pitches. in 5 innings before he was hit for. And the double switch, Matt Caesar coming into the game in left field, and he is now on deck. Took over for Jabari Blash, so the pitcher spot now the 7th spot in the order. 1-2. And Coleman late swing and a foul back at the screen. Four runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Padres. 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Pirates. Padres had a 4-0 lead until the Pirates came back with a pair of runs in this, the top half of the 7th inning. Swing and a miss on a pitch elevated at 96. And Coleman strikes out for the first out here at the bottom of the 7th inning. It's now 7 in a row retired by Pirates pitching.
Kind of a funky delivery from Tony Watson, the left-hander. We just saw that fastball, mid-90s. Also throw a slider and a changeup. Been very reliable over the years.
And that's Caesar batting for the first time.
Well, here's the left-hander coming at you. Always working from the stretch. Long strider.
Piece of Cervelli again.
Rough night back there, huh? And at the plate, remember that high heater that brought him to the ground? That's, you know, that's a big kid hitting the ground.
Just missed inside, and it's 2-1. Watson now 32 years of age. Entire major league career spent with the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is season number 7 for him in Pittsburgh. On the ground to short, and Jordy Mercer 2 down here in the 7th inning. That'll be top of the order now, and Manny Margot coming up. Margot singled in the first, grounded out in the 3rd, and then homered a solo shot in the 5th inning. Home run was his 8th of the year and led off the 5th.
Elevated changeup. Stayed on it nicely. Is that off the second basket out there? He gave it a ride.
This one to right field, and at Frazier, who will make the catch, build to the cap high, and end the inning. We head to the 8th with the Padres on top 4-2.
Show, which will be brought to you by Cox Communications. So clearly Phil Maton going to be part of this late game equation.
I think Andy Green's going to have to mix and match here, and Phil Maton getting the last out, a big out, and then also trying to extend him a little bit, maybe even turn it over to Kirby Yates tonight. This is going to be a difference because Brad Hand's probably not going to be available.
Yeah, he's thrown so many days in a row. Andy Green wants to give him a rest. When we see you on the post-game show, you're going to hear from Andy Green. Hopefully we got a nice Padres win to wrap up, which would include hearing perhaps from Michelle Margot and maybe her namesake, we can call him that, Manny Margot, because Manny's been a real prime contributor tonight. Let's get you back up to Don and Mark.
All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. So the 8th inning we go, and it is the top of the order in Starling Marte. Bunt bid out in front of the plate, and it's Maton whose throw is going to be close and not in time. Bunt single for Marte to begin the inning. He had struck out 3 times and drops the bunt down.
And a smart play by Marte, getting that tying run to the plate. That's the only play that Phil Maton had to make. Marte's got decent speed. I think even if Sanchez gets to that baseball and tries to throw it, no chance.
So Marte aboard to begin things here in the 8th inning, and Josh Harrison coming up. He has walked, fly to right, and grounded out to shortstop. In at third is Spangenberg. A swing and a miss. Good fastball at 94. Good life on that fastball. Look at the alignment there. You got Spangenberg just in on the grass at third, and Margot in the outfield towards right center, gap in left center. Harrison down 0-2.
I'm a big fan of the 4-seam fastball up in the zone. So more and more hitters go after that. Really tough to get on top of.
Good spin rate.
Yeah.
Fly ball right field, playable for Hunter Renfroe. 1 out in the inning.
You know, Don, I think we just saw 3 straight fastballs up in the zone from Maton to get that fly ball to right off the bat of Harrison. That's exactly what I was talking about.
So 1 out, Marte at first, and Andrew McCutchen coming up. Very difficult part of this order for Maton here in the 8th inning. McCutchen now, Bell next.
This is what you like to see, though, isn't it? The young kid Maton facing the all-star McCutchen in a 2-run game with a runner on.
Throw to first, and back to the bag is Marte. Nelson Lamet started the game 6+, giving up 2 runs, struck out 7. Craig Stammen went 2/3 of an inning, allowing a couple of inherited runners to score, but none of his own. And now Phil Maton outside, and that is ball 1. Last night, McCutchen with a 2-run home run, sitting on 19 home runs right now in the season for McCutchen. Represents the tying run here at the plate with Marte at first, and 1 out in the 8th. Big swing and a miss there to even the count at 1-1.
And really late on the slider. It's a slider. And McCutchen really behind on that one. Got the young kid pitching against 2013 MVP in crunch time. Phil Maton's got the look in his eye like, you know what? Bring it on.
Jumps ahead of McCutchen, 1-2. Just off the outside edge, couldn't get him to chase. 2-2.
See the majority of the pitches up in the zone, right? I think that's where Maton is most effective. Now fastball down. He tried to go upstairs.
Change the eye level.
Yeah.
After looking in to see if they're going to throw over to first base. Doesn't look like they are. Going to go with the slider.
Get it down. Get it out there.
And a swing and a miss. McCutchen went around. He got him. Second strikeout for Maton since coming in. That's a big out. 2 down here in the 8th.
Big out. Bad swing by McCutchen. Well, you don't see this too often, especially with the way McCutchen's been swinging the bat lately and putting up the numbers the last few weeks. Totally fooled on this one.
So 2 down here in the 8th, and it brings up Josh Bell. Bell, the swing and a miss. Almost down to one knee on that cut. Struck out in the 1st, struck out in the 4th, walked and scored in the 7th. The power guy, 18 home runs on the year for Bell. That single started this inning by Starling Marte. Fly out and a strikeout, and now an 0-1 to Bell. And a chopper to first, a foul ball. Well, had it. Ready to tag the bag, but stepped into foul ground, and it's 0-2.
Ramon Vasquez on the right, Glenn Hoffman on the left, having a little fun with Jose Pirela there at first base.
Bell lifts a fly ball to left field. Matt Caesar coming in, and out of the jam is Maton. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Padres have a 4-2 lead.
Episode of Padres POV presented by Nissan, airing tonight after Padres Live, the post-game show. There you saw I went with Phil Maton to Balboa Park, show him a San Diego staple in his new city. We also do a sit-down one-on-one with Dusty Coleman, our own Mark Grant. So tune in tonight, guys.
All right, thanks very much, Michelle. And good timing as it works out. A very good performance by Phil Maton in this game. As he won an inning and a third and some big outs against some very good hitters in the Pirates order.
feeling very confident out there with each outing for Phil Maton. It was crunch time, and Padres still have the lead.
Casio into the game now for Pittsburgh.
51st game and pretty good numbers for Juan Nicasio. See the lefty righty splits. He's got one thing in mind, to throw up a 0.
This is Wyatt leading it off here in the 8th. And he'll take strike 1. 0 for 3 in the ball game. He's lined out, grounded out, and last time up, flied out to left. Swing and a miss.
Change up.
Tony Watson had a 1-2-3 7th inning with a strikeout, and Nicasio comes the 4th arm used tonight by Clint Hurdle for the Pirates. Only with 2, 3, and 4 in the Padres order. Foul back to the screen. 1 and 2. Elevates. That's why he does not chase. He's 7 miles an hour on the radar gun for Nicasio. Kind of wondered who would be up out there in a save situation. Well, Brad Hand working 3 straight games, getting 3 straight saves. Our answer, Kirby Yates up in the pen right now for the Padres. Swahe fouls it off to the left, out of play. Like the at bat here for Swahe to lead it off in the 8th. An 8-pitch at bat. This will be pitch number 8 of this at bat. Perella waiting on deck, and then Sanchez expected here in the bottom of the 8th. And a leadoff walk down to first base goes Swahe. Good start to the bottom of the 8th inning. Time now for the Bill Howe play of the game, and a couple plays. Triples for Jose Perella. This was the first one, and it drove in a run, and Manny Margot, who scored, and then Perella would triple again in the 3rd inning. This one out over the head of McCutchen in center field. So not 1, but 2 triples for Perella. Perella 2 for 3 in the ball game. Flying out to center in his 3rd at bat. That's on the corner. Short lead at first for Swahe. Held on by Josh Bell over there at first. The 1-2 Perella. And he'll foul it off to the right, out of play. Nicasio up 0-2.
Need to take out a policy this inning. Get some insurance.
Obtain some insurance. Looking ahead to the 9th inning, David Freese, Adam Frazier, and Francisco Cervelli. It's expected a bad inning, but he gets on, and Jordy Mercer would have a chance. We're now looking to add on, though, as a 2-run advantage. Swahe at first base, and an 0-2 pitch coming up. Swing and a miss, and Pirela strikes out for the first out of the 8th inning. He blew by him at 97. Well, the finale of this series tomorrow, some day baseball from Petco Park in San Diego. Garrett Cole 8-7 with a 4.12 earned run average. Clayton Richard will be on the mound for the Padres. 1 p.m. We'll be with you with Padres Live to get it started. And the Pirates and Padres play game 3 of the series. Well, both learning a lot in the first 2 games of the series, watching both these offenses. And be ready to go here tomorrow in game 3.
Baseball under the sun.
Day baseball. Got the cell phone lights going on here across the stadium. The crowd tonight of 37,286. Enjoying a Padres 4-2 lead right now as they bat in the 8th inning. Fly ball foul. I feel like I'm at a concert right now.
Yeah, kind of like, yeah.
Looking for an encore.
Encore, yeah. I think they want an encore of the first inning, which would be a 2-spot.
So Billy went out to talk to Nicasio here with a count of 1-1 to Sanchez. What, should we go back out or call it a night?
I say go back out.
We'll go back out?
Yeah.
All right.
This guy's known for hitting some home runs, isn't he? Sanchez.
Swahe back. Yeah. Some dramatic ones. He's had a flair for the dramatic. Especially pinch hit. He's not pinch hitting here, but a great time to put together another home run. He has 7 on the year. Fouled off to the left, out of play. Off walk for Swahe. Pirela struck out. 1 on, 1 out. Hector Sanchez down in the count 1-2. Shifting on the right side of the infield, but they keep it tight to the infield, trying to set up a double play. And it could be one here. Ground ball to second base, to second for 1, on to first for 2. So that will end the 8th. We head for the 9th. 4-2 Padres. by Petco, where the pets go. By Papa John's Pizza, better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proud partner of the San Diego Padres. And by the all-new 2017 Subaru Impreza. Subaru, symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 28 miles per gallon. More than a car, it's a Subaru. It's a 4-2 Padres lead. To the 9th inning we go. And Kirby Yates comes into the game for San Diego, trying to wrap it up.
Would be his first save of the year. Combined numbers, his 39th game. He's been throwing the ball extremely well. Good splits as well. Lefties 255, righties only 175. Remember, it's just not the fastball, but the slider and the split finger fastball that makes Kirby Yates so effective.
Big crowd fired up as the Pirates come to bat here in the 9th inning. David Freese, 2 hits in the game. Both singles and both to right field. The second one drove in a run. Strike one to Yates. One career save back in 2014. Remember the Tampa Bay Rays at the time. On the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Toughest outs, those last 3.
Got that right.
What kind of mindset change do you go through here coming in as a closer now?
Never been a closer, but I tell you what, one thing's for sure. I think Kirby Yates has to stick to his strengths. Follow his catcher, hit the glove. They know the game plan. They know the scouting report.
So don't try to do anything differently than what you normally do.
I don't think so.
David Freese leading it off here in the 9th inning, waiting on a 1-2 pitch. And that's up and in. Fastball, 2-2. Strike 3 call. One down in the 9th inning. That one frozen. Slider. Freese does not think so. Taking a long time to get out of the box and saying some things to Carlos Torres. One down in the 9th. Time now for our Carl's Jr. star of the game. It's Nelson Lamet. Goes 6+, giving up only 2 runs and had 7 strikeouts in his performance here tonight. Very good.
Last 2 home performances has been great, and he says, you know what? Why not make it a third? He had the fastball going. The slider was a big key. When you throw a slider like that and have Marte swing poorly, when you have swings like that from Bell, and the one that really stuck out was to Andrew McCutchen.
Adam Frazier now bats with 1 out of the inning and takes strike 1. 2-hit night for Frazier after grounding out in the 2nd inning. Singled in the 5th, singled in the 7th. Foul back, 0-2. Frazier batting now. Cervelli will be next here for the Pirates in the 9th inning. Frazier lines it down the left field line, but foul. Yates ready with an 0-2 pitch to Frazier. And a flare to right field. Renfroe coming in, and he'll make the catch. Hung up long enough. Not hit that hard, but Renfroe comes in and grabs out number 2. 2 down in the 9th inning. Francisco Cervelli coming up. Cervelli 0 for 3 in the game. He has struck out swinging, lined into a double play in the 5th, and grounded into a double play in the 7th inning. Takes ball 1. Kirby Yates trying to become the 6th Padre with a save this season. Strike 1, 1-1.
You know, the whole plate umpire tonight, Carlos Torres, has called that high slider all night. The one to David Freese, he's been calling it all night.
I think he's done a nice job.
Yeah.
One pitch to Cervelli. Fouled off to the right, and it's 1-2. So Kirby Yates comes into this game here in the 9th inning. Strikes out David Freese. Gets Adam Frazier to fly out to right for the first 2 outs of the 9th inning. Trying to secure his first save of the year with the Padres on top 4-2. 37,286 standing is won. The Friar faithful here at Petco Park in San Diego. The 1-2 pitch from Kirby Yates. He struck him out and the Padres win. On the outside corner, Cervelli goes looking, and Kirby Yates gets the save as the Padres win tonight and win the series. A 1-2-3 9th inning for him, and he just does get that outside.